Animation. Good job. Instead of being 5 minutes late, you're actually 4 minutes late. So, a round of applause. But no, all jokes aside, I am watching it from Funimation's website, and I'll be starting my reaction in 1, 0, go. Aniplex. I always love the sound of the Aniplex voice. It sounds so freaking badass. And I'm pumped up. I wonder how it's gonna start. If it's gonna start with the narrate. Oh, so it's going out with the narration beginning then. But this time I like how it's different because, yeah, he's obviously they're going to be directing his words towards back their own company this time. What an absolute savage, though. But hey, you know what? Oh! I was hoping to go straight to the fight without an opening. Don't get me wrong, I love the opening. But damn, I've got like so much excitement for the final episode that I just wanted it to get straight into the content for the final episode. Although in saying that, I just wonder if there's going to be enough time for the series to have a balanced ending though, because they've got to have this big final fight while simultaneously the writing stuff also has to contend with the fact that they got to make a satisfying epilogue. And who knows if they're going to make the final fight satisfying, because Italy, you had everyone versus Rudolph for a good 2 to 3 episodes. So no matter what they're going to do, they're not going to be able to give the final boss of this series as much a build-up like Rudolph got. That's really my only worry for the final episode. And I've seen works from this same writer. Because they did Kyoko, and I remember Kyoko having similar issues. Like, all the middle fights were great, like again when Ryoko was fighting against Satsuki and Nui, but then the final fight against the final antagonist ended up being underwhelming because the final antagonist didn't have as much build-up. So, oh, thank you for the heads up. I'm gonna fix that right now, animated. Thank you for telling me that during the opening. But it's real though. That thing, like literally. There was no noise when I was reacting to Let's Make a Monk, episode number 7. Alright, now it's back. How in the world can it be classified as love if the god in this verse wants to wreck everything, though? But you know what? I hope that man keeps that same stats, even if he gets his ass whooped. I'm getting scared that Rolf might try to aim for Fine. Oh! I do love that gutsy determination, though, where she's willing to risk her life to get things done. That's actually why... I mean, I don't know if Rolf should be talking shit yet, because if one of those friends defeats him, then he's not going to be able to talk shit anymore in that potential scenario. Yo, what's got him scared? What? Wait, what's... Oh! Yes! Fuck yeah! It's nice seeing this Rudolph punk be put in his place. Finally! Fucking finally! Okay. I actually like how some of the side rookie characters are finally getting some glory. About dang time. Oh yeah, that fight was badass animated, OG. I think that might be one of my favorite fights in the series, Back Arrow versus Kaya. But honestly, this fight's pretty damn cool too in its own way. Hey, you know, it'll be fitting if Prax is actually the one that ends up killing Rudolph. Especially considering that Rudolph is also the one that harmed Feeney in the first place. So you know what? I actually am cool with this. Yep, and those same people that Rudolph killed, I just love how the end is poetic. How is this motherfucker still alive? What? Oh boy. Right when the happy vibes were there. Oh, thank you for that info, anime, Doji. But like, right when there was happy vibes, I have a feeling Fina might actually give up her. Oh. Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to aim for Fina eventually. Why extend the battle when you can just get rid of the one that's doing all the healing? I mean, the only way I can see Fina getting out of that is if somehow she unleashes Fiend Noir from within her body. That's the only way I can see her getting out of it out of her own volition, unless Fina gets saved. Oh, I was like, did you just get rid of all those clones simultaneously? It makes sense, though, considering that he is the god of the verse, that he'd be able to just copy abilities. Yo, he also copied Grand Edgar. Talk about absolutely epic feats. Damn, they want you to do everything at this point. Even though with what the man's doing, they gotta at least give Shu some time. And you know, that's smart thinking from Atlet, because with this type of stalling, it can give Shu enough time to think of something. And plus it plays on the ego of the back Arrowverse too. Say, so you know what? That is actually one of the most tactical moves that Atlas has done in the whole series. Oh, so pretty much they all came from outside the walls then. Oh, okay, I thought for... No, I guess I was wrong. Hey, you know what? Again, this kind of reminds you of the same writer where he kind of did something similar in Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill. In a good way, though. I actually don't mind the space twist. I guess I should have seen it coming. If anything. I'm assuming that New World Boy happened to be Back Arrow. Or... not Back Arrow, but maybe... That's really damn messed up to be treating a child like that, though, without even thinking about the ethics behind that. That's pretty cruel if you ask me. Alright, at least the now shoe break it down in case there are any doubts. And I'm assuming that could affect the baby and it can make it grow if he gets too much energy. That's my guess. I kind of like how it was Zetsu. It shows you how Zetsu affected the status quo in the series. I like how when Backer does the spin, he kind of looked like the spin animation for Sonic the Hedgehog. Just in that small little bit. Well, I don't blame people for calling Record of Ragnarok trash. I haven't seen it myself yet. I will see it eventually, but people say it has bad animation. And all the fights look like shit. Unless they get conviction from everyone outside of the Lingoland conviction system, that's the only way I can see Back Arrow kind of getting enough conviction to take out the god of the Back Arrowverse. Jeez, how long can Phoenix last the chokehold? Wait, is that Phoenix Noir? Or someone else entirely? Wait, Phoenix Noir and Zetsu from the Great. Wait! I mean, I guess I'm actually shocked. I mean, I had a feeling Phoenix Noir might show up because I thought she was gonna show up from within Phoenix's body, but it looks like she came out straight from the dead. I want to hear an explanation on Zetsu though. Unless they have so much conviction that they're able to actually... I guess they're infinite. Oh, okay. At least it explains why Zetsu and Phoenix Noir were able to come back at the very least. Actually, like now we see and the negative consequences towards Rudolph's actions in the previous episode. Well, the negative consequences towards Rudolph at the very least. Yo, talk about some 40 level chest from freaking Backrow. Yeah, that is badass. Is it over the top? Yeah, it is. But it's back arrow. That's what makes it fun. And it works! It's gonna end like the World Close Series it is. Yo, I love this! It was like music to my ears! Yeah! Aww. But hey, you know what? It makes things balanced out because if Phoenix Noir and Zetsu would have stayed off for long, yeah, it would have felt like it had been too much. So I like the way they're handling it. Whoa! I love the amount of conviction. Oh. So I wonder if they're going to give the conviction to Back Arrow. Yo, without Back Arrow now has to live up to their expectations. He has to. I love how the men like Zetsu has to do them poses too. Right before saying that. Aww. Now that is actually a nice send up. I was hoping that Prax would have had at least a bit of dialogue with Phoenix Noir too, because Phoenix Noir and Phoenix had that opportunity to patch things up. So it's actually nice to see it like this. Yes, finally! Yo, is that gonna hit the god of the Back Arrowverse too? It doesn't look like they're gonna be immortal anymore. Ho ho! Oh! It makes sense as Zetsu and the others are able to do that. That makes sense that everyone else is going to be able to do that too. I like how he's calling them worthless after their... Yeah, exactly! Pino's right! He's the one getting beaten by the people that he calls quote-unquote worthless humans. At least now, this fucker Rudolph's actually accepting reality. Damn it! How is this guy smoking me to death? Boy, you know what? I like that. I gotta admit, Rudolph didn't go down like a bitch, so I respect that. He went down like a badass, even though he was a villain, and I disliked him for what he did. He went down like a boss. Whoa! I mean, hey! Because at this rate in this series, you can pretty much do anything with conviction. Wait, he can do that? But I do like that the Hobbit is, he knows his limitations and it needs the help of others to succeed. I like that. Whenever someone can admit that, shows that they got a strong and powerful personality. God, I mean, that is a sad existence. When it comes to the God of the Back Verse. Oh yeah, at the very least it looks like she was still trying to do something. Unless Backer Company can make the world to do more at the very least. Yo! Wait, what? Okay, talk about going even more ambitious. I mean, hey. And Backer will know when to tries. I mean, hey, why the fuck not, right? I haven't. Is that true, Animated Doji? Because I haven't seen them on Funimation's website yet. Those two that you're talking about. Are you sure they're gonna have special premieres? Down the guy on this verse, it's like he doesn't listen to words around him. He just wants to hear himself talk. But hey, you know what? It'll be satisfying seeing his head roll. You can definitely tell all the performers have fun, and that's like savor of blow with like the massive amounts of passion there was. Man! Did he just cut him in half? Yo! Yeah! He's saying that, yeah, he's the... Oh, I like how he hesitated. Oh, okay, at least it looks like the true God of the Backer versus that. Yeah! Finally! They've actually achieved their well-deserved win. I mean, hey, might as well take back the baby home. I like that show, man. I like the face of a psycho when he says that. I love it. Oh, okay. Thank you for the info. Anime Doji. And you know, that could be the case, and I guess it explains the consequences for doing what they pulled off and there being no more Brehites. I just wonder though, when it comes to the series, how are they going to really pull off the epilogue? Because literally, it's only got 4 minutes left. They're going to just be barely visiting the god of the verse, which is going to be the baby. So unless the series has like some kind of OVA episode, I can't shake the feeling that the ending's going to be a little disappointing. Because it's going to feel really, really rushed. Yeah, it does look like a normal lady. Maybe it's just a projection form and the baby's actually normal size. Yeah, of course she'll be the most excited considering that he's been just trying to find massive amounts of logic. Yo, this was like set up for a season 2 if you ask me. Because honestly, this feels like the start instead of an ending. I like how Ren and Rekka, like, they know they can't stop Shu when he's like that. That's cute in its own way. Oh, okay. Hopefully at least show us what Back Arrow and company found, though, at the very least. I mean, okay, at least it's a semi-optimistic and happy ending. I would have really loved to have seen his reactions when they first encountered the baby, though. Okay, now that just feels like a lot of stuff that they should have shown off, but they just skipped. And they're just telling us stuff instead of showing it off. Don't get me wrong, I like the final episode, but I just can't shake the eerie feeling that this series really should have had a few more episodes. I like the way he teases Ren, but this time in like a playful way. That's cute. And I gotta admit, the song playing does sound pretty dang nice. It does make you wonder, though. Seeing the Pretty Boys, it does make you wonder that the series sometimes did have a few episodes that... Don't get me wrong, I love the series in general, but the Pretty Boys episode kind of makes me wonder, what was the point of that? It didn't factor into the narrative much at all. Oh, man, I really want to see that. Oh, wait! It's gonna help on that note? Yo! Do we head for the stars? Okay, I kind of like that little bit of animation there where it looks like they're warping. Alright, I have a mixed feelings on the final episode because I liked what I saw. Oh, thank you for the heads up, Animated. I'm gonna adjust the microphone again, and that's weird. Like sometimes the mic works when it wants to. Now, this is where it gets complicated because I liked the final episode, but damn was it rushed! Holy fuck! Now, let me start with the good though before I mention the bad. Now, the good of this episode was, at the very least, the way Rudolph went down was satisfying. And while I guess you could argue that Fine Noir, Zetsu coming back for small bits was sort of an ass pull, I don't think it wasn't, because since the series kind of established that conviction can almost do anything, it at the very least, on the positive side, it was established that he can really do massive amounts of stuff with conviction. So them coming back really didn't feel that out of place. And then the final battle really looked pretty fucking badass because with the way they were like using grandiose planetary destruction looking attacks, it looked good. So there were positives in the final episode. Like the final fight felt like a final fight. But there were downsides that I can't ignore. And let me just say this. The final boss, now don't get me wrong, I love that he ended up being the narrator of the series. But damn! I felt more satisfaction from a character that's been built up for more episodes, Rudolph being taken down, than the guy that, the narrator guy that back here when the others were fighting. Because the narrator, it's like, he only got pretty much a little bit of screen time on the previous episode, and then this episode, and that's it. Like no matter what was gonna happen, they were not gonna be able to give the final villain a lot of his due screen time, and that's what really kind of affects the final episode for me. Like there were a lot of good elements to it, but it really does fall a little bit flat when you have a final villain that just doesn't cut the mustard. Where I felt more, again, from Rudolph, how everything Rudolph did, I was like, man, I want this guy taken down. Like the way he affected the plot narrative. Because even though, yes, you could say that the narrator did give orders to Rudolph and all that, it wasn't the narrator doing it directly. It was pretty much him asking Rudolph to do it. So that's why when he was taking down the narrator, I was like, alright, this is cool and all, but I wasn't screaming in joy. Like just compare my reaction when Rudolph died versus when the narrator died, and that's pretty much my thoughts. And it's really a damn shame because up to this point, the series executed pretty well its script. But going in, I had a feeling it was going to be a rushed ending because literally, you had like expanding concepts during the episode. And speaking of which, I'd say out of the animes I've seen written by Kazuki Nakashima, because I've seen Brand New Animal, I've seen Kill la Kill, I've seen Promare, I've seen Gurren Lagann. Out of those series I've seen, I'd say when it comes to this series, if I had to be honest, I liked his work a lot more in some of his other animes. I liked his work a lot more in Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill, Promare, and I'd say I like this series about as much as I did Brand New Animal. So I'm a little disappointed with how they handled the ending here. Don't get me wrong, this series is still good. I liked it. But it wasn't on that classic status like a Gurren Lagann was. Now that is like top tier stuff where Kill la Kill was. Oh, so thank you for the news, Animated OG. And those are pretty much my thoughts because I felt that even though yes, Kill la Kill, that originally also had a rushed ending, at least in Kill la Kill, it did at least a bit more of a decent job fleshing out its final villain. Here, it really didn't do that. And I can compare them because, again, it's from the same writer. And it does feel into some of the trappings that he fell into in his other writings, like introducing like a space concept right when the series is about to end feels like out of left field. I felt like that twist with there being space involved worked in Gurren Lagann because Gurren Lagann had multiple episodes to work with the space concept. But when he did it with Kill la Kill, it didn't work that well. It felt rushed. When he did it with Promare, it felt rushed. And then when he does it here, it also feels rushed. So it felt like this fell into some of the trappings of some of the writings he's done in the past. Some of the similar trappings. That's why the ending, I liked it more than I didn't like it. But in saying that, though, there were more positives than negatives. Because, yeah, I'm going to react to the anime. You know I'm reacting to all the summer animes. Because as far as positives go, I did like seeing Fine push herself to the limits. And I did like how Backer accepted the responsibility of getting the baby and wanting to return it back to its world. I thought those were all cool touches, and I like the Earth twist. It's just the issue is it feels like a setup for another season that we're probably never going to get because I checked back at those pre-orders. It's not doing well from a pre-order standpoint. And that's why with the ending, it just feels like it was fun, but it feels like a fuck you to the audience because since Enemy Original, we're probably never going to see the concept expanded upon. Like, what's the Earth look like in this series? After all the build-up, it's kind of disappointing that it's ended in this way. So that's where my mixed feelings on the ending come from. And then speaking of which, this series spent like an episode on the Pretty Boys and some other episodic characters that didn't really matter much in the grand scheme of things, and makes me wonder, well, what was the point of the Pretty Boys episode then? They could have just scratched that episode that was early on in the series and used that episode to maybe flesh out the Earth, flesh out maybe them taking back the baby to where it belongs instead of it handling things the way it did. That's where my disappointment from the series comes from. I don't know, you animated Doji. Maybe I think it's The World Ends With You. That'll probably be the next one. So that's why I like the series, but the ending did feel like a clusterfuck. It was a fun clusterfuck though, but it was a clusterfuck regardless. And here's the thing though. The final action set pieces were fucking badass. I ain't gonna lie. Visually, it was one of the best finales I've seen from a visual standpoint. Now, in saying that, I do like how it comes with the twist. At least you didn't have Batgirl killing the god. He wants to at least help out the baby god. So I guess there was that positive. It didn't fall into some cliches. So if I had to give a rating towards the final episode of Batgirl, I mean, it is sad for sure, animated OG. But if I had to rate this episode overall on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, I'll give the final episode itself an 8.5 out of 10 because I still think it's great, but the ending is kind of botched. Especially concerning the fact that I really felt they could have used some of the earlier episodes in the series and they could have pretty much gotten rid of some of them to flesh out the ending a bit more. Because this episode exactly ended up the way I predicted in my episode 23 reaction. I did say either they're going to spend episode 24 fighting, or they're going to spend it with a short fight but expanded epilogue. And it happened to be the former, where I ended up being mostly fighting but pretty much no expanded epilogue. Which is a damn shame. Now, my series rating, here's how I'm going to rate it. I don't think this series is going to sell like shit because I saw the pre-orders. They didn't have good pre-orders last season, so it's probably not going to get more. Unless the animation studio wants to lose money, which I do hope the series gets more episodes. I liked the series. I did. I just didn't like the way it sucked its landing, though. So if I had to rate this series overall on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I still think the series is good. It's above average. It's better than some of the animes I'm watching. But really, though, if it would have stuck to the landing, this series would have been a straight up an 8, 8.5, maybe even a 9 out of 10. But with an ending like this, I'm like, it drops it a few grades from me. But in saying that, 7 out of 10 is still good. And if it were to get a season 2, that would settle off things of what happens with, like, Batgirl taking the baby back to where it belongs, then I could raise it up to an 8 out of 10, or maybe even an 9 out of 10 if Season 2 ends up being best. If it gets one, which I doubt. But if it does, then I'll scale it up. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So for now, rating what is already in the episode, I got to only give it a 7 out of 10. I still liked it overall. But I did expect more from the finale. I really thought they were going to bring it. They brought it visually. Like, all the voice actor and actresses brought it. The animators brought it. The CG animators brought it. The people composing the music brought it. The singers brought it. It's just the script writer didn't bring it. He was the only one that didn't bring it. Everyone else brought it for the final episode. But yeah, these are my thoughts on the episode. And I hope that series ends up being good too, Animated OG. But these are my thoughts on the episode and series in general. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction to the episode or the final episode itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, subscribe. And yeah, these are my thoughts. Overall, I had fun, but it's just a shame it couldn't stick its landing. But at least the series did good enough, though, to be a fun ride. But anyways, y'all. Thank y'all very much for watching my video, and I hope y'all have a fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.